Galnet News, keeping your galaxy in focus. 23rd of September, 3301. In today's top stories, Imperial Internal Security Services issues another appeal. Ashlyn Duval issues statement in regards to Emperor's Dawn. Local faction helps Munshin. Federal research program terminated. Senator Patreus calls for Senate investigation. As well, Chancellor Blaine confirms Senate investigation. And lastly, a galactic treasure hunt. In a repeat of the events of last month, the Imperial Internal Security Service, the organization responsible for domestic security throughout the Empire, has issued a second public appeal for exploration data. This time, however, the IISS is being explicitly clear about the reasons for the request. In a statement to the media, Agent Cope of the IISS said,
"It is clear to us that the insurgent organization Emperor's Dawn represents a significant threat to the Empire, and it is therefore essential that its ability to inflict harm on Imperial assets and citizens be neutralized as quickly as possible. To this end, the IISS has authorized the Semis Empire Party to reimburse any pilots providing reliable exploration data. This data will be used to locate bases belonging to Emperor's Dawn."
Independent pilots interested in participating in this effort should deliver exploration data to Mackenzie Relay in the Semis system. And more in the Empire. Following the revelation of alleged links between Princess Ashlyn Duval's office and the Emperor's Dawn insurgency, Princess Ashlyn issued a statement denying any knowledge of the connection. She stated, quote, "It has come as a bitter surprise to me that any of my trusted advisors could have conducted business with the animals that murdered the Emperor. I will immediately undertake my own investigation into the matter and root out any staff who are not truly loyal to the Empire." End quote. Popularity polls have shown a dramatic fall for the so-called People's Princess, as the Imperial Herald revealed more details of the alleged interactions with the terrorist group. Patron Damon Clark remains unavailable for comment. A security officer based in Clark's home system revealed anonymously that Clark's whereabouts are unknown. Following in the wake of the Kumo crew, the task of resettling Pegasi sector refugees is underway at Orkanox's orbiter in the Munshin system. Hundreds of independent pilots have already helped to deliver vital medicines to the Orkanox's orbiter. Leading the effort is a previously unheard-of local faction called the Libertas Cooperative. Made up of freed Imperial slaves and their descendants, the group states that it is dedicated to helping the Empire's least fortunate. Members of the cooperative are manning docking bays and working overtime to unload cargo ships, and several independent commanders are working in concert with the group to increase the flow of medicine into the system. The government of Munshin praised the quick action and dedication of the Libertas Cooperative, while a spokesperson for the cooperative invited the Pegasi sector refugees to seek employment with the Libertas Cooperative. And swinging into federal news, reports have begun circulating that the federal research program established last week to study the so-called anomalous extraterrestrial objects, or AEOs, has been terminated. The news comes only a week after the inauguration of the project. According to a source at Fort Harrison, where the program was based, study of the objects was brought to an abrupt halt by the station governor, Aushi Quaid. Apparently, Quaid ordered the head of the project, Professor Ishmael Palin, to immediately cease his research. The reason for Quaid's decision is not known, although it is not believed to have been informed by concerns over public safety. A second source from Fort Harrison, who asked not to be named, had the following to say.
"Hey, Galnet News guys. Man, I'm a little drunk, but frankly, I don't think it was Quay's decision at all. I think she was pressured into, shutting the program down. She was enthusiastic about the project and had a lot of respect for Professor Palin. I mean, damn. So, this change of direction does not make any sense, right? The question is, who forced her to cancel the research? And why? Bro, let that sink in. Hey, where you
The
going?
objects
Come
under
back.
study
Hey.
were described as quasi-organic in nature and capable of broadcasting location data across vast distances. Their discovery was widely considered the scientific find of the decade, and a cancellation of the project will no doubt provide a strong response from the scientific community. Professor Palin declined to comment on the Governor Quaid's decision. And back to Imperial News, as Senator Denton Patreus prepared to enter the Senate to continue with the deliberations over the succession, he issued an angry demand for a full Senate investigation into the reported links between Emperor's Dawn and Princess Ashlyn Duval's office. He was reported stating,
"While I sympathize with the princess's situation, having experienced a similar shock, I cannot allow that sympathy to influence my judgment. When a member of my household committed the most heinous of deeds, I submitted myself to the security services and gave them every access they needed. We cannot wait to act, and I call upon the Senate to commence an immediate and full investigation into any links between Princess Ashlyn Duval and the Emperor's Dawn."
After the initial flurry of information from the Imperial Herald, no new facts were released. Patron Damon Clark remains at large, and the considered option is that he has fled the Empire. And at the start of the day's deliberations, Chancellor Anders Blaine declared that a Senate investigation into the claimed connection between Princess Ashlyn Duval's office and the insurgent group Emperor's Dawn was to be undertaken. The investigation will begin immediately, despite the Senate being in closed session until the succession is decided. In response, Ashlyn Duval stated that she would comply in any way she could with the investigation. She also said that her own security teams had discovered some alarming information that she would share with the investigation committee. Meanwhile, the hunt for patron Damon Clark continues. Several of his associates were arrested by the Internal Security Service in the early hours of the morning and subjected to questioning. And finally, Alfred Jeffries, the reclusive philanthropist, has released an intriguing statement. In a press release, the eccentric billionaire announced his intention to initiate a galaxy-wide treasure hunt and to give a share of his vast fortune to the winner. This is the first public statement from Jeffries in several years. As a humanitarian who made his fortune trading rare and exotic goods, has spent much of his past decade on an extended galactic tour. According to the press release, Jeffries has quote-unquote hidden a mysterious object somewhere in space. The first person to find this object and deliver it to a specified location will win the competition. The press release also contains a riddle that Jeffries claims will lead participants to the mystery object. It says, quote, "A vision of the devil and Orion's hounds will start you on your path," end quote. The announcement has prompted a flurry of speculation and excitement, and hundreds of pilots have already taken their ships to search for the mystery object. And that's the Galnet news for today. This has been Chip Washington. Tune in next time to keep your galaxy in focus.